Summer Cup continues on for the second week this rotation, and we're gonna have it alongside Great League. However, this time we're gonna have Summer Cup into Ultra League, so let's see together my top team recommendations. My hands just cracked away, and we're gonna get a lot of action today with 4 teams in total in Summer Cup, so let's see what we have going on. So starting off with the first team, we have a Tentacruel up on the lead with Pelipper as our closer, and a safe switch taking advantage of the absence from the fairy types is gonna be Kingdra. So what I like about Kingdra is under seals it can work pretty nicely for you. Most of the times it can turn around very badly towards your advantage, and because fairy types are gonna be nowhere on this meta, you're gonna have a much better environment. Also, steel types are not gonna be around at all, so here is 2 of your weaknesses getting out of the meta so that you can be in a much better spot most of the times. Up in front, Tentacruel is able to pressure a lot with those poison jabs in combination with your Scald in order to debuff the enemy on the attack stat, or just go with the acid spray in order to debuff their defenses. However, I think that Sludge Wave will be your main way to go, especially on the poison attack, because Sludge Wave will connect for tremendous amount of damage, and as you're gonna see, you're gonna need it a lot more than your acid spray for sure. Pelipper on the other hand is gonna work pretty nicely for this team. You're gonna use it effectively on the closing part, even against electric types, which are gonna be the core breakers of this line. It is gonna work pretty nicely, especially with back-to-back weather balls, or even a hurricane to annihilate down not the electrics but anything else. So as a core breaker here we got the Ampharos, but in reality we're having a lot of electric types as a core breaker for this line. So something like a Lantern, something like a Galvantula can also work as a core breaker for this team. However, you still got the amazing pressure from that poison jabbing up in front and your Tentacruel. However, Magnezone can still resist those moves and also can go pretty rough on your Kingdra, resisting the Dragon Breaths as well. So one of the few steel types is gonna be Magnezone, and that's gonna be kinda problematic for this team. However, against anything else, you're gonna be in a very good spot, and even against electric types, most of those are gonna be glassy, so you can definitely play around those Pokemon. And now, as we are proceeding into the next one, you are getting familiar with the reason that I enjoy Summer Cup. Zapdos! This is the reason. So you're seeing this Pokemon everywhere on my channel. I think it is the most underrated Pokemon ever, and when we're having a meta that this Pokemon can excel, like Summer Cup or Flying Cup, well, I'm going all for it. So this is the best team that I have to showcase to you, and it is only the second team of this video, but yeah, I just cannot wait enough to showcase it to you, because Virizion will be up on the lead. At the back, Charizard, no Shadow at all. You need a regular and a high rank if you want to play this team correctly, because the high rank non-Shadow Charizard, I repeat, high rank non-Shadow Charizard, can survive a Hydro Cannon with ease from a Swampert, and that can be the key on the safe sweet spot. And of course the closing part will be taken over by our Shadow Zapdos. Shadow Zapdos with Zap Cannon, able to destroy down whatever remains at the back from your opponents on the Ultra League level. And of course I recommend Zap Cannon over Thunderbolt, because everything is much bulkier here, and something like a double Thunderbolt on something like a Registeel or a Lantern, well, Registeel is not allowed on this meta, but still on the Ultra League level a Zap Cannon can absolutely do the job much better here. And of course you get the chance to debuff the opponent. Up in front you definitely need Sacred Sword and Stone Edge for the flyers for your Virizion, while the core breaker of this team is gonna be of course Tentacruel. Tentacruel is gonna be able to wall down Virizion, and has a positive matchup at the back with all those flyers, but still you're gonna see that you have some ways to play around it, and I would not be that much concerned about Tentacruel, because it is not gonna be everywhere, but still it is gonna be a meta threat. The previous team composition with Shadow Zapdos might be the best one that I have to showcase to you, but still the other two are, you're gonna see, that can definitely work pretty nicely for you as well. We're having for the next team comp Walrein up on the lead, at the back Jellicent with Buzzwole. So I believe that Walrein has really a lot of action for the Summer Cup, both in Great League and Ultra League, and I would really want to see it in action on Master League. If Niantic decides to go for a Summer Cup on the Master League League format. That would be fun. So we're having Wolverine up in front, able to pressure a lot with its spammy moveset and Earthquake for coverage, while at the back Basil will take over the closing part. I think that Basil will have a very nice battle against a non-flying threat on this meta, and especially with Trevenant out of the way. Just remember that it got nerfed this season. I believe that Basil is much safer than ever to use on the Summer Cup of Ultra League. At the back we also have Jellicent, which is gonna work as a safe switch to draw out that flyer pretty easily, that Pidgeot, that Zapdos or whatever, so that you then can finish it off with your Wolverine, and then your Basil will be on a very good spot. So what a plan! If you want to play on a much better situation with your Jellicent, consider using Ice Beam over Shadow Ball, or just go over Surf. Why not? Because Ice Beam will give you more coverage against the flyers. People are not gonna expect it because everyone is expecting Surf and Shadow Ball, so that Jellicent can always work towards your advantage. As a core breaker, we got once again an electric type, but this time only the Ampharos, because Ampharos can do a lot of work up in front against your Wolverine, especially if you have a Shadow, while at the back it has kind of a positive matchup, kind of a neutral scenario against your Buzzwole, and of course can beat down that Jellicent with his having super effective moves up against that Pokemon. Other than that, I don't think you're gonna be in deep trouble and you're gonna be fine most of the times. For the grand finale, we're having Swampert up on the lead, at the back Double Steel with Genesect and Magnezone. So we saw at the earlier part of this video in the first team showcase that Magnezone was a core breaker, so that's why we're gonna use it here as our closer. Most people will be left with a Wolverine at the back, something like a Pidgeot at the back trying to sweep you, so that your Magnezone is gonna be on a very good spot. As you're seeing, the core breaker of this team is gonna be Virizion. Starting off from the core breaker, I'm doing this because I want to recommend to you another version of Swampert. Just use Sludge Wave on your Swampert over Earthquake on this cup. Do not be like me, do not use Earthquake for the Ultra League Summer Cup, because Sludge Wave is gonna give you ton of coverage against grass types, and trust me when I say this, with this team, especially up in front, you are gonna need it, because your main answer against grass types is gonna be Genesect, and if you do not have a Burn Drive like I do over here, which means a fire type Techno Boost, well, you might be in even deeper trouble, but of course you can always use the Ice Drive, the Chill Drive, if you want to threat even the Flyers, so there goes that. I'm having a Burn Drive for God knows why, I have no clue. So yeah, Genesect as a safe switch here can always surprise the enemy. I like this Pokemon a lot, has access to Magnet Bomb, has access to X-Scissor for a secondary move, but of course Techno Boost will be your main charge attack. The other one will be just a cheaper option overall. And Magnezone, if you have Flash Cannon, just go for it. If you do not want to use Flash Cannon, well, Mirror Shot will be your second way to go, because your first charge attack will always be Wild Charge. So that is gonna be all for my total coverage against Ultra League and the Summer Cup. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Just be sure to show it with a like under this video, under my content, and of course feel free to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, because more content like this will be more likely to pop up into your YouTube feed. With that said, thank you for watching, and one of these two videos might be just for you, so perhaps you should click them, and let's meet into the next one.